Let us take a deep breath. Big inhale, big exhale. As we calm our hearts and enjoy this moment, enjoy these few minutes in which we will do a special reading. This reading, I hope, will enlighten you, will bring peace to you, will help you reflect on important things about life. Let us begin. Our reading today comes from the book Jesus in the Home by Xavier by the spirit Neio, Lucio. Chapter 28 is entitled Heavenly Reply. When Bartholomew asked for an explanation about heaven's answers to people's prayers, Jesus responded to enlighten everyone. An old teacher of the divine commands was on a mission of heavenly truth from distant village to distant village, accompanied by his dog. One night, darkness began to fall without having him determined how many miles separated him from his next destination. Noticing that being all alone in the middle of nature was quite frightening, he prayed for protection from the Eternal Father and continued on his way. When the moonless night finally set in fully, he saw a wide and comfortable-looking hollow by the side of the path. Petting the dog that was following watchfully behind him, he decided to lie down and sleep. He was just about to settle into the hollow when a dark cloud of voracious flies attacked him all of a sudden, forcing him to continue on his way. The old man continued walking when he came to a deep creek on a stretch where the road forked. A rustic bridge offered a way across it on the main road, and just beyond it, the ground looked welcoming, because although it was enveloped in nocturnal darkness, it looked like a broad white sheet. The holy preacher decided to lead his obedient companion to the other bank, but the bridge suddenly gave way, collapsed, and broke into pieces. With no other way across, the old man took the other path, and finding a healthy tree full of welcoming branches, he thought about conveniently taking shelter under it, because from the sounds of thunder in the distance, the sky was announcing a storm. The stately tree offered an alluring and safe shelter in its hollow trunk. He was ready to take up refuge there, but a gale began blowing so strongly that the tree came crashing down and split apart. Thus exposed to the rain, the traveler continued on his way. After approximately 2 miles, he came across an old country house that appeared to have a soft light on inside. And he breathed a sigh of relief. He knocked on the door. The gruff man who answered refused him in no uncertain terms, alleging that the place did not welcome visitors in the middle of the night, and that he was not allowed to take in strangers. He begged and pleaded, but the preacher was forced to continue onwards. He got as comfortable as he could beneath the storm near a small hut. Soon, however, the dog, terrorized by the incessant lightning, ran off yelping, becoming lost in the darkness. Now alone, the old man wept in anguish, believing that he had been forsaken by God. In the middle of the night, he heard muffled yelling and cursing, but he was unable to tell where it was coming from. Curious, he waited for dawn, and after the sun began to rise in its full splendor, he left his hiding place and found out from some terrified farmers that a band of thieves had pillaged the very same house he had been turned away from and had killed the people who lived there. A sudden spiritual light bloomed in his mind. He realized that divine goodness had saved him from the evildoers, and that when the howling dog ran off, he had been assured a peaceful night's sleep. When told that he was on a path heading in the opposite direction of where he wanted to go, he retraced his steps in order to get back on the right road. When he got to the broken bridge, a repairman explained to him that the white soil on the other side was nothing more than treacherous swamp land, where many careless travelers had died. The old man gave thanks to the Father for having saved him, and when he reached the fallen tree, a young boy told him that the seemingly welcome tree trunk was a well-known wolf's den. Very thankful to the Lord, who had so miraculously helped him, he sought out the hollow where he had tried to rest. In it, he found a nest of poisonous snakes. Offering endless thanks to heaven for the different forms of help that he had been unable to understand at first, he continued onwards, safe and sound, to carry out his work. At this point in the interesting story, the master gazed a while at Bartholomew and then concluded, "The Father always hears our pleas, but we need discernment in order to understand His answers and put them to the best use." My dear friends, this concludes our chapter. I hope that you, too, are able to understand the different and mysterious ways in which God helps us. Thank you. So be it.